You probably think that business loans, international money transfers, even the whole idea of a multinational company were cooked up in some London high-rise or a Silicon Valley garage, right? Well, what if I told you they were perfected by a family of wool merchants and bankers over 600 years ago? They built a system so powerful it funded kings, sparked a cultural revolution, and made them one of the wealthiest families in history. We're talking about a fortune that would be worth hundreds of billions of dollars today. But this isn't just a history lesson. The real question is, can the principles that built these medieval fortunes still make you rich today? The tech has changed, the products are different, but the core concepts of making money, you'd be surprised. We're going to dissect a 600-year-old business model and see if the blueprint for building immense wealth has really changed at all. Section 1. The world of the 1400s, a risky bet. To get how they became so ridiculously wealthy, you have to understand the world they lived in. The 15th century was a time of massive opportunity, but also incredible risk. Imagine you're a merchant. There's a fortune to be made. Europe is hungry for goods. English wool, for example, was basically the oil of its day. Essential, valuable, and everyone wanted it. The best weavers on the planet over in Flanders, in towns like Bruges and Ghent, would pay a premium for it. If you could get a shipment of English wool to Flanders, you were golden. But how? The journey was a nightmare. Roads were crawling with bandits. The sea was full of pirates and storms. But the biggest problem? The money itself. Business ran on gold and silver coins. So let's say you just sold a massive shipment of wool. Now you're sitting on a cart piled high with heavy, shiny, and very stealable gold. Trying to get that wealth back home was a life-threatening gamble. This single, massive problem, the danger of moving money, was choking international trade. Business could only get so big before the risk became too much. Solving this one problem was the key to unlocking a new era of global commerce, and the family that cracked that code wouldn't just get powerful, they would reshape the world. Section 2. The protagonists, the godfathers of banking. And that brings us to the Medici family of Florence. Today, we remember them as political power players and mega patrons of the arts who funded geniuses like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. But long before all that, they were bankers. And they were brilliant at it. The Medici didn't invent banking, but they perfected it on a scale nobody had ever seen. Starting with Giovanni de' Medici in 1397, they established the Medici Bank and started building an empire. They knew the future wasn't just in financing local shops, it was in creating a network that spanned the entire known world. They set up branches in every major European trade hub: Milan, Venice, Rome, London, Geneva, and Bruges. This wasn't just a bunch of banks, it was the first real multinational corporation, a holding company structure we still use. Each branch was a partnership, run by a local manager who knew their market inside and out. But their network was only half the story. Their true genius, the innovation that solved the merchant's deadliest problem, wasn't a new kind of vault or a private army. It was a simple piece of paper. Section 3. The core innovation, the Bill of Exchange. This piece of paper was called the Bill of Exchange. The concept was deceptively simple, but it was revolutionary. Let's go back to our wool merchant. Instead of dragging a treasure chest of gold back from Flanders, he could walk into the Medici branch in Bruges. He'd deposit his earnings, and in return, the bank would give him a bill of exchange, basically a very official IOU. He could then travel back to Florence with nothing but that light, discreet piece of paper in his pocket. Once he was home, he'd walk into the Medici Bank in Florence, hand over the bill, and get his money in the local currency. Just like that, the risk of getting robbed vanished. Money could now zip across continents as fast as a horse could gallop, all done safely and securely. This whole system was built on two things: the Medici network, and more importantly, trust. A merchant had to trust that the piece of paper he got in Bruges would actually be honored in Florence. The Medici built that trust relentlessly, creating a reputation for reliability that was literally worth its weight in gold. And they found clever ways to get paid. At the time, the Catholic Church banned usury, lending money to charge interest. So the Medici got creative. They built their profit right into the transaction. They would issue bills of exchange in one currency and have the debt collected in another, hiding their fee in the currency exchange rate. A bill taken out in Florentine florins might be repaid in British pounds, and the Medici would pocket the difference. It was a brilliant workaround that made them fantastically rich while staying on the right side of religious law. This system, the Bill of Exchange, became the lifeblood of European commerce, fueling an explosion of of trade and wealth. Section 4. The modern parallel, trust as a currency. So, a 600-year-old piece of paper that works like a check, what on earth does that have to do with making money now? Everything. Because the Medici's real product wasn't the paper, it was the system of trust behind it. They weren't selling a financial instrument, they were selling trust at an industrial scale. Think about it. What is a credit score? It's just a modern, algorithm-driven measure of how trustworthy you are. It's a number that tells a lender whether the bill of exchange they give you as a loan is likely to be paid back. When you swipe your credit card, you're using a system built on the exact same principle as the Medici Bank, a trusted third party, guaranteeing the deal between you and the seller. What is a powerful brand? It's the modern version of the Medici's reputation. When you buy from a brand you trust, you're relying on their name as a guarantee of quality. That brand trust is an intangible asset that can be worth billions. Even our global financial system runs on this. When a bank in New York wires millions to Tokyo, they aren't shipping crates of cash. They're using a secure messaging system like SWIFT that acts as a high-tech bill of exchange. It settles accounts based on a deeply embedded network of trust between thousands of banks. The Medici understood a fundamental truth. When you remove friction and risk from a transaction, you create incredible value. They took the most dangerous part of international trade, moving money, and made it safe. Today's most successful companies do the exact same thing. Amazon made buying stuff online frictionless with one-click ordering. PayPal and Stripe made online payments safe and easy for everyone. In a way, they're all modern-day Medici, building empires by creating systems of trust. The mid-roll call to action. The principles that built empires in the Renaissance are still creating fortunes today, hiding in plain sight. If you're digging this dive into the business strategies of the past and want to uncover more timeless lessons, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. We've got a lot more history to unpack. Section 5. Does it still work? Applying medieval principles today. All right, let's bring this home. Can you, as an entrepreneur, actually use these 600-year-old ideas to build something today? Absolutely. Here are 3 core Medici principles and how they apply right now. First, build a network of trust, not just customers. The Medici Bank wasn't one building, it was a web of partnerships. Today, that means building an ecosystem. If you run an e-commerce store, your network isn't just your customers. It's your reliable suppliers, the secure payment processor you use, the shipping company that actually delivers on time, and the influencers who stand by your brand. Every part of that chain is a branch of your bank. If that network is weak or untrustworthy, your business will fail, no matter how great your product is. Second, solve for risk and friction. Find the biggest headache, the most annoying part of your industry, and fix it. The Medici didn't invent wool, they fixed the terrifying risk of getting paid for it. What's the biggest friction point for your customers? Is it confusion over what to buy? Offer expert guides or personalized quizzes? Is it the fear of getting a faulty product? Offer an unbeatable, no questions asked guarantee? Is shipping slow and a total black box? Invest in transparent tracking and faster delivery. Every bit of friction you remove is a reason for a customer to choose you. Businesses that make life easier and safer always win. Third, leverage other people's platforms. The Medici partnered with merchants, the church, and even kings. They used their financial system to help others achieve their goals, and they profited every time. Today, that means using existing platforms. You don't need to build your own global marketplace. You can start on Amazon or Etsy. You don't have to create a social network from scratch. You can build your audience on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok. These platforms are the modern trade routes. By operating on them, you tap into a pre-built network of billions. Just like a 15th century merchant used the Medici network to trade across Europe. The key is to provide real value inside that ecosystem and become a trusted name. The lesson from the 1400s is crystal clear. You don't always need a revolutionary new product. Sometimes the biggest fortunes are built on a revolutionary new way of doing business. One built on trust, security, and making things easy. Conclusion: the world has changed in ways we can barely comprehend over the last 600 years. We've gone from parchment and quills to blockchain and AI, and yet the core drivers of economic success have stayed stubbornly, fascinatingly the same. The story of the Medici is more than just a cool piece of history, it's a blueprint. It shows us that wealth isn't just about what you sell, but about the systems you build. It proves that trust is one of the most valuable assets you can have, that solving problems for other people is an incredibly profitable business, and that a powerful network will always beat a lone genius. The tools are different, but the strategy that made money in the 1400s still works today. It's about finding a huge problem, building a system of trust to solve it, and creating a network that lets business flow. The fortunes of the future will be built on these same ancient pillars. The only question is, who's going to be the next Medici?